send a message in a chat box. We are starting right away, so sit back and enjoy.
Good day, everyone.
Good day, sir.
You can see so many people online right now. I can see this, one of the sisters from US. Well done, every one of you. I can see people right now. Thank God for making it to this seminar today. Thank God for His grace over our life. Thank God for keeping us to still be alive at COVID-19. God has been faithful to us. Today, I'll be sharing some experience in the area of ministry, area of marriage especially. Quite a number of people are having issues with their relationship and with their marriage. And God has given us grace to have been able to learn some things that we're about to pass across to us. Welcoming every one of you once again. Before we continue, I would like to play a video that will look into some of those experiences of a woman that actually killed her husband because they have been having series of conflicts, and that conflict led to this. Let's enjoy this video.
I wonder what you recall about what happened on the day of his death.
He said he wanted his breakfast. I felt that he wanted to get me out of the house for some reason. So I rushed down to the local supermarket. Then when I came into the house, I noticed that the landline phone was on the sofa beside him, and it hadn't been there before. I took the phone without him. That's been said, but it was as though this wasn't me doing any of this. I loved Richard and I wanted to be with him. And I killed the man I loved.
Do you know why there was a hammer in your handbag?
I don't remember putting it in there. But I accept I must have done.
You were charged with murder. With the help from the Centre for Women's Justice, you overturned the murder conviction several years after the original trial.
Yeah.
The CPS looked at independent psychiatric assessments and reduced the murder charge to a manslaughter with diminished responsibility, which meant you were able to walk free because you'd already served just over 9 years in jail. How did you feel at that point?
Absolutely euphoric. It was as though this was happening to somebody else. I was able to be next to my sons, and I knew that I could now live a life. I want to speak out more and try and talk at conferences, seminars, and support people who are in a similar situation to myself and try and educate everybody.
Do you regret killing your husband?
Yes, I do. I should have been a stronger person. I should have left him earlier, but I just couldn't. And I'm very sorry for what happened.
Hello, I hope everybody you learned some things from this. believe everybody, you've been able to understand some things I'm trying to bring out from this story of a woman who lived with a man for years, and they still end up killing her husband. And she went to jail. She came back and she became a motivational speaker, started sharing some of her bad experience. You can actually learn from people. You see, our life could actually be a warning. It will also be what people can also learn from. I'm going to go straight to my presentation, and I'll be speaking on the causes and the management of conflict in marriage. The causes and the management of conflict in marriage. I'm going to be taking my text from the Proverbs 17, chapter 14. Proverbs 17, chapter 14. The beginning of strife is as one lettered water, and the servant and this one shall be servant to the wise heart. So when there's a strife in a relationship, a lot of things happen. When two people from the same background live together, there are so many things that can happen, or different background. When you look at Proverbs 11:29, the Bible says, "He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind, and the fool shall be servant to the wise heart." So, in other words, two people from different background, personality, attitude, marry each other. And when two people of the same like that marry each other, so many things happen in their life. Life is a combination of people with different personality, attitude. People come from different background. They want to get married to each other. They want to live the rest of their life together, which is a very wonderful idea. One thing that I've discovered about marriage is that when two people are just friends, they are not thinking to stay together or live together, it seems as if things work out easy. That's why dating is sweeter than getting married. Dating is sweeter than getting married. The moment somebody is thinking of marriage, so many things begin to happen. Disagreement will begin to happen, and conflict will begin to happen, and so many things begin to happen. And that is why this training or this coaching is going to help some of us to be able to navigate our life and look at things we can do. Now, as I will be talking right now, if you have any question, you can begin to get it ready or send a chat. When we finish, we're going to have a question and answer time. And it's going to be, I believe the experience today is going to be wonderful. In marriage, there is no way conflicts can be avoided. I've been married for 29 years. By July 7, it's going to be 30 years we've been married. And I don't think because I'm a pastor, that is why the marriage is working. If you check online, the statistics of pastors that have divorced are many. I even have friends who are pastors who are not able to stay married. So it's nothing about being a pastor that makes you get married. It's like telling people that because you are a pastor, you are going to be rich. There are certain things that you must do. There are principles you must follow for you to be rich. And marriage is also like that. So conflict is inevitable. But combat is optional. You don't have to fight. You can disagree. Very, very important. Conflicts occur in every relationship. Happy couples don't disagree. They argue, they quarrel, and they get irritated over issues. So let's look at what is conflict. The first thing I want to know that conflict is when two people disagree with each other. Some of the fact about conflict I want to let you know is that it happens every day in marriage. As long as you are married, conflict is inevitable. It can mar or make a relationship. It can polish relationship also. When people are in conflict, it can polish their relationship if they manage it properly. If you handle it on time and maturely, it won't destroy the marriage. It won't destroy the marriage. It reveals your true self or nature, what you don't know about. I mean, you never know you can just get angry and shout like that. When I first got married, before I got married, I was a pastor, young pastor. Everybody around the church, young people come to see me. They all say I'm a nice person. But when I got married, I discovered that I get angry, I get irritated about what my wife may be doing. And sometimes she got irritated, and I started learning. But I can tell you that conflict is an antidote to, the antidote to conflict is forgiveness, love, and submission. Forgiveness, love, and submission. You have to learn that. The devil takes pleasure in conflict. He loves it. Whenever you see couples fighting, he's going to begin to interpret things that they did, and it's not that they are trying to do it that way. He magnifies it. The brother of conflict is abuse. Brother of conflict is abuse. So we need to avoid conflict as much as possible. We need to avoid conflict in a marriage. So let's look at causes of conflict in marriage. Causes of conflict in marriage. The first thing on my note is money. Money answered many things. Money answered many things. How will somebody live without money? I think money is a powerful thing that affects so many aspects of life. So money can cause conflicts. In-laws can cause conflicts. In-laws, especially some of us that are Africans, we tend to have problem with in-laws a lot of time. So in-law can cause conflict in marriage. If you are from Africa and from other Black nations, I don't know about the Caucasian a lot, but the position of in-laws is very, very powerful. It's very, very powerful. Children cause conflicts. Having one or don't have can be a source of conflict. I'm going to go through all those points first, and I will come back to us, and we're going to look at it one by one. Sex is a major area of conflict, especially when the marriage is young. Marriage is between the 0 and 10. Even more than that, sex will always be a problem in the beginning. So communication is another thing that causes conflict in marriage. Communication. How do we communicate with each other? Is a major issue in marriage. Infidelity. When one of the partners is not faithful to marital vows, there is a problem. Cause conflict in marriage. Number 7 on my point, food cause conflict in marriage. Food cause conflict in marriage. Food. Who cook the food, does not cook the food. For some of you that live in the Western world, maybe that may not be a major problem because the system of the country make everybody to be responsible for each other. But if you live in Africa and some other part of the world where the culture is that the woman should cook. Now, a woman will go to work to go and make money. The man will also go to work to go and make money. And the man is expecting the woman to cook before or he comes back. So these are some of those things. Number 8, pride cause conflict. Pride cause conflict. Pride. Number 9, pettiness, something that is very small, cause conflict in marriage. Pettiness. I'm going to come back and explain it one by one. Fear and insecurity. When any of the partners are not secure, there could be conflict. When any of the partners are not secure, there could be conflict. Personality differences can cause conflict in marriage. When two of you have different temperaments, it can cause conflict in marriage. We see things from different perspectives. Personality difference one about temperament, gender, and love languages. These are some of those things. Number 12, well, for some of us that are believers and are Christians, satanic attacks or conflict in marriage. So in this teaching, we're going to be looking at those points one by one, and we're going to now come to how do I manage the conflict. The first thing is that we're looking at the causes, but how do we manage the conflict? How do we manage the conflict? Let me go back to where I started from, causes of conflict in marriage. The first thing is money. In my note, money. Well, I was told that every romance must be financed. Every romance must be financed. Money is major issue in life. Money affects so many aspects of life. Lack of money, a problem. Too much money, a problem. People actually make up their mind when money comes. I hope you know there are three things that control the entire world: money, power, and sex. Money. Some of you that live in some other part of the world, maybe you are joining us from South Africa today, you are joining us from America, you are joining us from England. One of the first things that took you out of Nigeria is you want a greener pasture. You want more money. People that are, I'm staying in the city of Lagos right now. I wasn't born in Lagos. Quite a number of people that live in Lagos today were not born in Lagos. They came because of money. They want to make more money in Lagos. So money is a major conflict in marriage. And you see, the way out of this is for both of you to agree how you want to manage your money. I also tell couples that you must always live by your size. Live by the size of your pocket. Live by the size of your pocket. In marriage, out of two of you, there is one person that will like to spend more than the other one. And it doesn't have to be a woman. You know, in so many people think more women spend a lot of money. In my own marriage, I am the spender. My wife can manage things. Oh my God. She can manage things. She will tell me, let's manage, let's manage. You are spending money too much. So you need to come to an agreement and have a way you can spend, you can manage your money. For example, I've heard couples say, we can have a joint account. I don't recommend joint accounts, but both of you need to sit down how you want to manage your money. Look at this. Me and my wife now, we have a joint account, but do you know that I'm the one that violates the law of joint accounts? Sometimes when I need money, I will just go to the account and take money, and she will check. So after some time, I just say, well, I can't. I don't think I can manage it. So I'm a pastor. I have a pastoral heart. Sometimes people will come to meet me. Oh, Pastor, I've not eaten for 5 days. Pastor, I need help. Without even thinking, is it deceiving me? I will just get carried away. I can give the last money we have in the house and throw it to that person. I mean, I've dashed things in our house that we later needed to go and buy back. So I was saying, why can't you think through this? So money needs to be managed. You need to agree on budget, agree how you want to spend your money. If you don't manage money well, it can cause marriage to break. Statistics show that 70% of many marriages break because of they cannot manage money. Couples have split because they cannot manage money. We have seen in our own culture, the environment where we live, that women have left their husband because the man cannot manage them with money. So money is a major issue in marriage. We need to work out to agree and compromise how we want to manage our money. It's very important. So, very important. I believe in the future, in time to pass, we're going to be doing a whole seminar on how to manage money in our relationship. How to manage money in our relationship. So when two of you can agree on how you want to manage money in your relationship, so you are going to be able to have a good time. So there must be a way who's managing this, who manages that. I believe in some part of the world, like America, they will agree that, okay, the husband will pay the mortgage and the wife will pay for the food in the house. Because you see, In Africa, where we were raised, where we come from, a man pay all the bills. And the reason that happened in the past is because a woman does not really work. Most women in that time didn't go to school. So what the woman does is a division of labor. The woman gives birth. The woman becomes the nanny at home. The woman is the laundry that launders the clothes. Is a washerman of the house. So he take care of the home. He cook. She cooks. She do the laundry. She take care of the children. So the man go to make money. So it's a division of labor. So whenever the woman need money, the man must provide, because I'm going to provide the children care. I'm going to provide. You are also the baby factory that will carry the baby. The man just not to sleep with you. You are going to. It's going to the body. The child will borrow your body, your accommodation for 9 months in the name called pregnancy. And so that is what happened in the past. But today's world is different. Somebody live in a nation like even Nigeria, even Ghana, even some other part of West Africa today. Both of you need to come with your income to be able to manage things. So that's why there must be how your money will be shared. I believe what I recommend that everybody, we can have a joint account, but everybody must also have our own personal money to do our own personal things. When I was growing, when we were young in our marriage, and I started traveling, when I travel, I would buy clothes for my wife. And she would tell me that you didn't buy bag, you didn't buy shoe. And I would say, can't you manage the bag you have for this one? Why do you always buy bag for every clothes? He said you are a man, because a man can use black shoe. Black shoe can match everything. But a woman cannot do that. So I started learning all those things. So money is very important. Number two, what I want us to talk about is in-laws. In-laws are very, very important in our marriage. How do we manage our in-laws? How do we manage our in-laws? See, your mother, my mother, there are in-laws. Your father and your father. The Holy Writ said, for this reason shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. So it's important for us to be able to manage our in-laws. How do you allow them to come? When they are visiting us, we have to agree. We have to agree on so many areas. You need to treat your marriage like a country. Imagine Amos Fenwa's house is a country. So anybody that will come into our country need a visa to enter. So your home should be like an embassy. Your home should be a place where you give them visa. So when they come in, you agree that they are coming in. Nobody comes into England without the England government, British government agree that that person can come in. So you need to manage your in-laws very, very well. They are very important. You can't abandon them, but you need to know how to manage them. Your in-laws cannot determine the success of your marriage if both of you know what you are doing. So conflict comes through in-laws. A lot of mother-in-laws, because women are very sensitive, they have caused conflict in many marriages today. So we need to manage them. Children, very important. How many children do you want to have? It's very important. You should agree from the onset. And if in the process of marriage, more children are coming, there will be a way we manage those children. It's very, very, very important. And we're able to manage them. The school they will attend, how to discipline them. These are sources of conflict. Do you know, I witnessed a couple where the woman was beating the children and the father of the child beat the woman back. Can you see that? In the presence of that woman. So they have finished the life of that child. They have finished the life of that child. So we need to manage that area. Children, how do you manage your children? Training your children is very, very important. Among two of you, one of you will be a bit laid back or weak in the area of training of children. Children always look for the one that is weak and say, Daddy, Mommy is so wicked. Sometimes they say, Daddy is so wicked. Don't allow that to happen. It's very, very important to manage your children well. Children should never be a source of conflict in a marriage. Can I say something to you now? Everybody watching me, everybody here in this class, children has a limited time to spend with you. Max, 18 years. Right now, we are privileged to have 3 biological children, and they are no longer with us. The one that is even sitting, slaving in our house, for sometimes for 2 days, we may not see each other because she works as a legal officer, as a lawyer, and she will not come back to this house 11 p.m., 12 p.m. And by 6 a.m., she has gone. So in other words, not really living with us. It's just borrowing our house. So children are going to leave here for some time, and now we'll know how you're going to manage yourself. Number 4, sex in marriage. This area that is very, very important. By the grace of God, our next program, our next training online, I will dwell more on this area. I'm going to look at some gray area of marriage. That's what I'm going to be sharing. We'll be talking about sex is a very powerful thing in marriage, especially when the marriage is young. Statistics shows that 70% of men have more sex than their wife. There are 30% statistics of a woman that really want too much sex, more sex than normal, but statistics show that 70% of men. So a lot of men want more sex than their wife, and this is an area of conflict that have happened in many marriages, So we need to understand how sex works. We need a lot of skill and training on sex in marriage. We need a whole class on sex in marriage. Now, I can give you some tips today, but in the next webinar, I'm going to dwell more on the body of the man, different from the woman. The body of the man has some hormones, they call testosterone. That hormone makes a man to always demand for sex more. And that is very, very powerful. That is very important. So we need to understand that some men like more sex than their wife. And when a man is denied sex, most of the time, it affects their ego. It affects, they see it as a total rejection of their person. So we need to understand that. In other words, some men also don't really understand how sex is supposed to be done. Now, women are creature of process. Everything about women is process. Everything about women. A woman wants to eat. A woman will spend average of 15, 20, 30 minutes to eat. For men, eat very fast. When we are going out for a party, going for an event, a man can get ready within 10 minutes. Now, when I say man, I'm not generalizing. There are men that behave like women. We call them masculine, feminine. And there are men that behave, there are women that behave like men, that we call tomboy. But we are looking at generally, in a general terms, statistics that show that many men will get out from house, 5, 10 minutes, they are ready. Women will spend some time. Do you know why women spend more time? They are dressed different from our dress. Now, if I just wear underwear, singlet, and pants, I'm going. So women, after they wear their pants, they will even wear something called tight. After they wear that, they will wear headloop, they put bra. Sometimes they will this bra, it's not fitting this clothes. So it takes time. Now, before they now finish that, they now go to their face and have to make up the face to look beautiful. That's the way women have. So the way women take time for everything is also the way they take time in sex. A lot of men think that if I just want sex, I can just have it. But a man can just get at any time and is ready for sex. A woman is not designed like that. Women are designed as a process. Sometimes a woman does not even feel to have sex. They only have that feeling. Some people have that feeling maybe once in a while. So it's important that you understand how that affects women once in a while. So you need to take time. If you want to make love with your wife, you need to start doing it, telling him from the morning, talking well in the morning, because you know that you are working towards something. God, they are creature process. And by the time you are ready for sex, you have to start with, I used to use church language to explain it. Let's say that you want to have sex, we call it going to Jerusalem, or you are, we call, or you are, I can call it, no, let me know you go to Jerusalem this time. Let me say you want to have sex, like you want to go for church service. When you go for church service, you start with a praise worship first. Praise worship is what called foreplay. A lot of people prefer more time of praise worship anywhere in the church. Tell when the music is good. When the choir is giving 10, 15 minutes to sing, people say, I want more now. That is the way it is. So we need to understand this very, very important. When it comes to sex, a man should know that you have to be, process has to be observed. I've seen men asking me questions in a seminar like this. Well, do we need to go through all those things? You need to go through it. You know, a man enjoy the end product. Women enjoy the process. Women are creature of process. When a woman is talking, you want to explain how it happened. A man say, what happened? Tell her the same way. So everything about men is quick. Everything about women take process. You enjoy the process of the foreplay, which I call praise worship. You enjoy that process before the main message. A lot of men will just go. I mean, I was counseling a couple some years back, and their major problem is sex. And the man said, my wife doesn't allow me to have sex, and this is causing problem. Pastor, one how, I'm going to go and look for a girlfriend. Though. I say, you're a child of God, you're a believer. Why do you want to go and have a girlfriend? The Bible you are reading, does it allow you to have a girlfriend? If you're a Muslim, the Quran allows you to have 4 wives, you will love them equally. So, what's the problem? The problem is that anytime the man wants sex, he just jump on the wife like a dog. And he just, before we know it, 1 minute, this man is done. And he will be snoring. So in family therapies, we call that kind of person ERD. It means enter, release, and doze off. As he enter, as he release, he just doze off. ERD, that's what they call that kind of person. So I trained the man. I said, no, you don't do that. If you want to make love with your wife, number one, you need to start talking to her nicely. If you have anything that is getting you angry, it's like you want to collect money in a bank, you need to go through their queue. You get to the entrance of the bank, they ask you to queue, you queue. If they ask you to enter a cubicle, you enter because of what you are looking for. So you take your time to talk to her nicely. You try to not flatter her, but affirm what is good in her. Affirm it is very, very important. And when it's time to have sex, don't just go straight to the point. Do a lot of process, and go through all what you need to go through is very, very important. So we're going to have a section, a whole training that will be on sex, and that's training we might make people to pay for that kind of a training, because I'm also going to bring more therapists to talk to us about it. So it's going to be very powerful. Number 5 thing under my note is communication. Communication is a major thing that causes conflict in marriage. Communication. Communication is a real deal in marriage. A real deal in marriage. Communication. How do we communicate? Say what you mean and mean what you say. See, a woman does not talk the way a man talks. Everything about women is coded. You need to interpret what he's trying to say. But a man talks straight. A man just informs. See, a woman talk for fellowship, for rapport. So a woman does not talk to us if they don't like you. But a man talk, drop information. We have 5 boys in our family, 3 girls. During this COVID-19, it took me 1 or 2 weeks to even call my brothers. How are you doing? But all the girls, they call me, Daddy, you didn't even call us. Pastor, you have not called us. You're supposed to call me. I mean, that's women for you. They want you to They talk, fellowship, check on me. If I need something from a man, and I'm not talking to that man for 1 year, or the moment I just remember, maybe I'm coming to London and I want to stay in your house, and I'm not talking to you for 6 months, I just say, hello, how are you? Okay, how are you doing? How's everything? I'm going to be in London next week. Can I stay in your house? Why not? And we're going to talk as if we have been talking every day. I can't do that with a woman. A woman needs you to be checking on her, checking on her, checking on her every time. Communication is very important. In communication, you must always know that the husband, you can't just talk to him anyhow. A woman also needs honor. You can't just talk to your wife anyhow. You have to put honor in your communication. It's very, very important in marriage, because the way we talk actually causes conflict in marriage a lot. Number 6, infidelity. Infidelity. You see, one of the major things in marriage is to be faithful to your marriage vow. Try as much as possible not to break the trust of your marriage. Trust is like a glass. If a glass drop, it breaks and you can never repair it back. So the moment a woman suspects her husband is cheating on her, she will never be able to trust that man till he dies. She died. The moment, in fact, the man is even worse. Most men will not even be able to handle it at all. I think women are much stronger than men when it comes to so many things in life. No wonder God called them helpmate, helper, that is conducive for you. Helper must be stronger than the person they are helping. So, a woman can handle so many things, but infidelity can be major causes in marriage. If you check some statistics online, you discover that infidelity is a major cause where many people kill themselves. In Nigeria, where I live, we saw a lot of killing in the last 2 to 5 years. Couple killing each other, some with knives, some with beating, just because of infidelity. Now, the story, the video we watched, some of you that maybe you did not come on time, I watched a video. That woman that was interviewed by BBC, she was living with the man. The man will always take part of her salary. The man didn't allow her to relate with her friends. At the end of the day, the man was cheating. It was that cheating, infidelity that made this woman to actually kill that man. And that is why it's something that has caused a lot of problems in marriage. Food. Food is a factor, but it's not a major, serious factor in many marriages today. Pride. If you are going to be able to enjoy marriage, you must learn to be humble. You must learn to make sure you manage your ego very well. Both of you must learn to apologize instead of defending your behavior. A lot of people, when they make mistake, to say, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. And let me say this, I'm sorry, you must have a word that follows I'm sorry. Don't just say I'm sorry. So if I say I'm sorry, no. You are sorry for what? I'm sorry for the way I talked to you this morning. I never thought those things will affect you. That's why I'm sorry work. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. See, I told you I'm sorry. In fact, one man told me, he said, we don't say I'm sorry for where I come from. We don't say I'm sorry for where I come from. Listen to me. You need to learn to be humble. You are going to stay in marriage. Many contention in relationship happen because of this. It's very, very important. Pettiness. There are some few things that are that are not too much important that will tend to make it important. Do you know people argue just over toothpaste? Water is not running. You didn't clean. You see, you bath in the bedroom, you're not cleaning. just little things, pettiness, can cause argument. In the midst of arguments, one of you must be very, very humble, very careful, and you know that disagreement can lead to so many things. Fear and insecurity. When someone who has or feel a conflict coming on, they often withdraw to avoid it rather than engaging in solution. Unfortunately, many problems are left unresolved. So we need to not to feel insecure. Listen to me, the moment you are married to each other, you are equal. If I'm 50 years and I get married to a lady of 40, the 10 years that is on my marriage, on my age is gone. We are equal, we are the same. We are 40-40. So you have to forget all those insecurity. I'm better than you. All those things doesn't work in marriage. You are equal, you are one. That's very, very important. Very, very important. Number 11, personality differences. I wish to spend more time on this, but I believe one of these day we're going to have more seminar that will explain more on this. Temperament. There are 4 temperaments that we have, and we all know the 4 temperaments. Let me explain some of them under this class. Okay, I'm sure you can see that on your screen right now. We have the sanguine, we have the choleric, and we have the phlegmatic. Now, the sanguine have the strength, and their strength, we can see it. I'm sure everybody can read their screen right now. So you need to understand that this temperament affects the way we see each other. Sanguine strength, we can see it. Sociable, charismatic, outgoing, confident, warm-hearted. Sanguine have their weaknesses. They never keep time. The sanguine will always come late. The sanguine weaknesses, they are not too organized. Sanguine weaknesses, they talk too much. Sometimes they even talk what they are not supposed to say. They don't have filter when they are talking. Sanguine. If they just say things they are not supposed to say, they talk to anybody, but the weaknesses and strength are there. Choleric, very good of strength. They are the people that achieve a lot. They know what they want to do in the next 2 years, in the next 5 years. In emergency, they know the next thing to do. They are always ready. Choleric, very powerful temperament. Phlegmatic, these are the very, very low temperament in introverts. They have their strengths. They can do things, they do routine work. Phleg can stay in an organization for 20 years, they will not move. That's phleg. There are people that are very loyal. Number 4, we have melancholy. Now you see, 2 up, sanguine and choleric, 2 by the side, they are extroverts, while the 2 down, they are the introverts. All these temperaments, nobody has one. You might have all the 4, but you have it in higher percentage. So some people can have sanguine to be 40%, they have choleric, and they have other one. So we have the choleric are more into trying to achieve a lot. Phlegmatic, they are the people that follow, they are the loyal one. If a man is a phleg and the wife is a choleric, the wife, you hear more of the voice of the wife will always want to be there, will be leading. Now, all these temperaments, they always have clash and they cause conflict a lot in marriage. So if you can study this temperament and you understand your own, you will know how things work. Let me use myself as an example. My wife always knows whenever I'm doing all this training, all this teaching, I always explain using our own as an example. He has no problem with that. I've been doing this for years. Now, my first temperament is melancholy. That's my first temperament. I'm in melancholy. You look at the strength of melancholy, they are thoughtful, considerate. How do you know melancholy? The first thing about melancholy, when you see them come, is that they dress very well. You always see them dressing well. Melancholic, my God, they dress very well. They always want to do things that you hardly can criticize what they do. I'm a melancholic. The second temperament I have is sanguine. Sanguine helps me to relate well with people. I can talk a lot. I can convince people. I mean, even if you are an introvert, you come near me, I will make you talk a lot. Now, the last temperament I have is choleric, very small. Choleric are the pushy type. They want something to happen. They push you to get it. Sometimes they don't even care how you're going to get it done. Now, my wife happened to be a phleg and a choleric. So we're able to match. It's a good match. Sometimes when my sanguine is scattering the entire house, our phlegmatics are arranging the house. So that's why you need to understand this temperament. When we first got married, I was having a lot of issues. We go to somewhere, wife say, oh yeah, let's go. We are wasting time. When she has see a lot of crowd around, too many crowd, she wants to be alone sometimes. She wants to be alone and she wants to just be alone. So before I really met people and relate with people, I thought it's a weakness on her part. But when I started talking to other people that have temperament, I found out that phlegmatic gets strength when they're alone, while sanguine gets strength when they are with the people. So a sanguine will get depressed when you cannot talk to anybody, you cannot relate with anybody. So many sanguine right now in this lockdown, they are getting depressed. Whereas phlegmatic does not have much problem. If they have a little thing on phone, they are fine. So we need to see how this temperament affects our life and cause conflict in marriage. Very, very important to know. And the secret is that when you master this temperament, you will know the strength of your wife, you know the temperament of your husband, and you know the weakness of your husband. So when I got married, 29, good 30 years now, I want to talk. After the day's work, I want to talk. My wife will tell me, you are talking too much. Let's sleep. I'm tired of talking. So I started learning that this lady is different from me. Oh, that was a lot of problems for me in the beginning of the marriage. But over the years, I've learned that sometimes she just wants to be left alone. So I also just come into my study and I start reading and studying. I'm being a pastor self. There's many people want you to talk to them. So use that to manage that area. So if not, conflict will continue to happen. Now, after temperaments, love languages is very, very important. Now, if you are in a relationship, you are married. I believe I'm talking to people that are married today. If you are in a relationship, you are married, the truth of the matter is that you need to understand love languages. How does love languages work? How does it work? You need to learn what to do. Gary Chapman authored a book on love languages. And if I've gone through some of my books, it's always there. Relationship is everything. I will recommend, if you have not read that book, some of you have the book, but you have not read it. You see love languages there. Love languages explain how you display love to people, that you think, how you speak the language of people, that they will believe you love them. For example, there are 5 love languages. You can see it on your screen right now. You see touch, act of service, words of affirmation, time, and gifts. These are 5 love languages. These are 5 love languages. Some people believe you love them when you embrace them, when you touch them. Unfortunately, this is a time of COVID-19. So you can't embrace people in love. But that's their language that you understand, when you hold them, when you touch them. So somebody that won't touch as a love language, they always want you to hold them when you wake up in the morning. They want you to hold them. They want you to touch them. When they are leaving to the house, they want hug. When they come back, they want hug. I know a couple that quarrel over this. Say, why is my wife always wanting hug? oh, can you hug me? I'm not hugging me for some time. It's because touch is the love language of that person. For other people, number two is act of service. They believe you love them. The language they understand by love is help them do things. My wife knows when I want to drink tea and she's sitting next to me, I will feel love if she's helping me to do that tea. Not that I can't do it, but I just feel love. That, oh, you are the act of service. I just feel love. I can't explain it. I can do tea by myself. I can do anything by myself. But when you are drinking with me, you make me feel the love. Oh, you really love me. I mean, some people don't really want anybody to do anything for them. For example, my wife does not want you to do anything for them. You can't cook for her, and she will please. But for me, love language is what is happening. Act of service. There are women that when they are in the kitchen, if their husband will come into that kitchen and just sit down with them, and as they are doing this, can I help you do this? They'll feel, oh, you love me. How will you explain that as a love language? Some is a word of affirmation. They finish dressing in the morning or they are going somewhere. Say, wow, you look so good. Oh my God. And you are not actually flattering them. You are not flattering them. You are affirming them. Affirmation is different from flattery. Affirming is the statement I already know I have. But somebody is energizing it, is reinforcing that statement. Oh, you look so good. I like you. Your hair is so fine. This is a good hair. She knows the hair is fine, but she needs affirmation. Word of affirmation. I love you. I love you. I really love you. Some women don't care about that. In my own marriage, if you tell my wife you are beautiful, say, I know. This is something else. But some women want you to say that. They want you to say that continually. So it's important we understand this love language. It's very, very important we understand this love language. So time is another one, quality time, where you spend time together. It's a love language in marriage. Gifts, giving gifts. You travel, you buy gifts. And let me warn you, a gift as a love language to a woman, you know what I mean? A gift as a love language to a man. How do I say? If somebody buy me a car, that car, you can use it as a gift for me for 10 years. With that car, we still be remembering her. But if you buy your wife a bag, I mean, that is only one time. The moment the bag, the thing will expire. She need another one. So if the gift is the love language, you really need to understand it very well. Very, very well. So, gender differences is another area of conflict in marriage. Gender differences is very, very important. It's another area of conflict in marriage. How will a man understand that a woman is different? Very, very important. A woman is moved by what they hear. When God created Adam in the Garden of Eden and created Eve, I hope you know that Adam was created first. Both of them were created in the Genesis chapter 1 verse 27. Male and female, he created them. That one was spiritual creation first, because everything is created twice. You first created something spiritual before you create it physical. Everything is created twice. If you want to make money, you want to do business, you go to the spirit to create it before you now form it. You create your business first in your mind before you form it physically. You create your business first before you start studying or do feasibility study. So Adam and Eve was created first in Genesis 1:27. But when it comes to Genesis Genesis chapter 2, he created Adam first. He put him in the garden. The first thing God introduced to a man is a job. Take this garden, keep this garden and dress it. From there, get your food. That's why men get the revelation, they get satisfaction from their work. If a man has no job, he's not satisfied. If you like, do every other thing. Job first. When a man has no job, he's not satisfied, he's not happy, because job was first introduced to a man. Number two things you need to know about a man. A woman is first introduced into relationship. So it is not good for a man to be alone. I will make an help meet for him. God created Eve. And the first thing Eve saw was relationship. As he opened his eyes like this, he saw a man. And the man is a lyricist. He has a word. He said, this is my bone of my bone, my flesh. That guy can, Adam was a lyricist. He has a word. He knows what to say. I don't know where he got it. He was rapping. He was a rapper. He said, this is my bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. So all the rappers, they learn from Adam. And why do you think Adam was rapping? Women are moved by what they hear. So you know to gain that difference, very important. Words are very important to your wife. Don't just talk anyhow. Make sure you understand that as a gender difference. The way I talk to my wife is not the way I talk to my son. The way I talk to my wife is not the way I talk to other men. So you need to understand words are different from men and women from each other. So gender differences, men are moved by what they see. That's why pornography will always capture men. Many men, including your husband, they are still struggling from pornography problem. When they see a naked woman, they shake. They say, wow, wow. You see some men, their wife is even more prettier than some of the girls. But the moment they see a new girl, they will be saying, wow, wow, like a NEPA pole has breaking somewhere. Wow, wow, what is wow there? So, because we are moved by what we see, and women are moved by what they hear. Women are moved by what they hear. So, very important for us to know. So, a woman is moved by what they hear. Serpent came to tempt a woman by talking to her. A woman is moved by what they hear. So, a woman does so many things differently from a man. It's very, very important for us to know. So, all these things affect gender difference. So, in the early days of my marriage, maybe want to go to church, and I got up on time, and I quickly bath, and I'm waiting. Oh yeah, now let's go. Oh yeah, now conflict has started. Because I didn't understand gender difference. That this woman needs time to take care of herself, different from me. When we first got married, maybe in the early days, I think you should move the mic of some people because I'm hearing some underground noises. So, maybe when we first got married, we go to work and we come back to church. My wife will say, can I rest for some time before we do another? I say, what job have you done that you are resting now? Just because I don't know the gender difference. Women need to rest. They need rest. So we need to understand some of those gender differences. They help our marriage to have peace. Conflict will be minimized. I'm not saying conflict will leave, but conflict will be minimized. When we understand some of those things, conflict will be minimized. It's very, very important for us to understand some of those things. Woman is different from men. So if you're in a marriage right now, you need to understand that your husband is different from you, and you are different from your husband in many ways. In many ways. I'm going to take you back to read my books on marriage. I have a lot of them. When you go online, you see some of them that will help you. Good marriage not by law. You see gender differences there. If you even check other books I have on marriage, how to enjoy and not enjoy your marriage, you will see it there. Some of these books will help you. If you can go back and read them, then a woman is different from us in several ways. Several ways. I, woman, eats, matters. Women enjoy honor. All these things are very, very important. Very, very important. So let me move on. Let me move on because of time. Satanic attacks. I don't want to dwell so much on this. If you are from faith-based church where they teach on this, you know that spiritually marriage is a product of God. So it's a product. Apple product is iPad. God's product is marriage. So if your marriage is going to work, You need a spiritual person. Both of you must be spiritual. Some battle you are fighting in marriage, some misunderstanding in marriage are spiritual inclined. And if you're born again Christian, you will know what to do to deal with that. Then we go to how do we manage conflict in marriage? Because of time, how do we manage conflict in marriage? That's where I'm going to go straight now. And I want you to listen very well. So if conflict comes in my marriage, how do I manage it? First thing that should come into your mind is that happiness comes from within. Don't think your husband will give you happiness, your wife. You must prepare to be happy. My partner to not determine my happiness. When I was young in marriage, I thought, oh, I'm not happy in this marriage because other things not happening. No. You need to determine that my partner cannot make me unhappy. I will be happy, whether anybody like it or not. The moment you give power to somebody to determine your happiness, that's very dangerous. Make sure you can be happy without anybody. So when there's a conflict in marriage, don't let that affect you to affect your happiness. I mean, marriage is just a role. You are playing the role of a husband. You are playing the role of a wife. It's a role. Role playing should not affect your happiness. I want you to know that very, very well. It's very, very important. My partner doesn't make me happy. Maybe I should consider leaving him or her. I'm sorry, when you get into a new relationship, I've read the biography of a man that married about 5 times in his lifetime. Was divorcing, was remarrying, was divorcing, was remarrying, and he found out he is a problem, not the people he's living. It's very important. Number 2 things that will help you managing your conflict: unify your home. Talk over how things are supposed to be. You need to have a time to talk. Talk over things in your marriage. It's very important. Unify your home. Talk over how you picture your home in your mind. It's better to agree on so many things. Very important.
In the class, I'll call you back. That's true.
So it's very, very important. Happiness comes from within. So try and unify your home. Never compare your relationship to the one from the past. Past partner. If the past partner will work, you shouldn't be in this relationship. Never compare relationship with one from the past. Never. It's never good. No two relationships are alike. No two relationships are alike. Relationships are always different from each other. Couples need to understand that. Every human being is unique. Every human being is different. Don't compare your husband with Pastor Amos. Don't compare your husband with one man somewhere. When you see the president of some nation, people, oh, I wish my husband is the president. Don't ever wish that. Everybody is different from each other. You don't compare relationship. A lot of people say, my friend husband is better than you. Are you sure? Have you lived with that person? Do you know him? So don't compare. When you have a reason for comparison, you start having problems. So number 4, arrange some things, plan some together time. What does that mean? You need to have a time for each other. When there's a gap between couples, conflict will be brooding. Conflict will be brooding. At this time together, no TV, no company of other people, only 2 of you. So plan to do things together. I've seen couples going to gym together. They go to do things together. Now, it's an intentional thing to do all these things. You all do things together at the same time. So when you are always doing things together, it's so easy. It's so easy for the devil not to take advantage of you. It's so easy for conflict not to brew. There are things we must do together. It's very, very important. Very, very important. I always use our example whenever I'm presenting like this. There was a time if my wife said something or did something I didn't like, and in my mind I said, I'm not going to talk to this woman for throughout the day. Throughout the day, I won't talk to her. Suddenly, there's something we need to do together. Maybe my son needed something, he called for something, and we need to fill the form together. So the moment my son called and he said, is the one, he called her and said, we need this thing to be done together. I forgot that we are even quarreling. The conflict just ended. We started doing those things together. So when you can make sure you do things together, you have time to do things together, conflict will be reduced in your home. Don't live a solo life. You want to do solo life, you don't need to get married. You don't need to get married. So you are single and satisfied. Are you with me? Single and satisfied. I'll be sharing that on singles on Sunday. 3 kinds of single and satisfied. We have single and sinning. They are single, they have friends with benefits. We have single and sexual. This is not a singles program. But you see, if you want to be single and be satisfied, it's fine. But the moment you agree to marry, hey, you don't have life anymore. You don't have time for yourself anymore. You don't even have a house for yourself anymore. You are doing two together. Together is what they call marriage. That's why I call you plan some together time. Every time our marriage together, we have our children. Language have to change. It's not my car, our children, our house, our television. Everything is together. It's too late to do anything separately. It's very important. This will make conflict to be reduced. Number 4, number 5, actually reminiscing about past times. Reminiscence. I mean, think back about some of the things you've done in the past, the good time you have shared together, you add like glue that bonds together, good time. All those good times is always good. I think it was yesterday in the morning, my wife dressed first and she was in the sitting room. You know, when I was to dress, I wore the same t-shirt she wore. Yeah, why are you wearing the same t-shirt? I said, but we used to wear dresses together in those days now. What is so special about that? When we first got married, everywhere we are going, we always wearing the same thing and the same attire in those days. And so sometimes remembering those old days is very good. It makes you to see the excitement of the past. Is very, very important. So the good time you have shared together, we actually make you glue together. It's very, very important. Number 6, settle differences without a third party. It will be very nice. Every time you quarrel, you can settle your differences without a third party. But if the thing is so bad, then you need a counselor. Can I advise you that your counselor should not be your family member? If you are quarreling and it's your father or your mother, anybody that is related to you by blood, they will be biased, they will be emotional. So you need somebody that does not bias, somebody that is different from you. And let me say this to some of you, it is not every pastor that understands how to handle marriage. It's a special skill. It's a special skill. I know you attend church, I know you have a pastor, but not every pastor understands marriage problem. It's a special skill. So if you need to bring somebody into your relationship, it should be somebody that understands you, both of you, understand how marriage works. Marriage is a skill. We learn it. Like architecture. To run the computer, to be doing something on computer is a skill. Marriage is a skill. You need to go to school of marriage. I thank God all of you on the school of marriage today. I don't know how many people online right now, but I know we have over 70-something people that register for this program. So I want to thank God for you believing in investing quality time on your marriage. Quality time on your marriage. So it's important that we learn. We need a lot of skill. Now, this is the first webinar I'm doing on marriage. We're going to do a lot. We're going to do a lot. And I'm going to make sure we learn a lot. And we're going to have a lot of getting back to each other at all time. So you need a skill. When says go back to the past old days and settle differences without a third party. Express your point without abusing your partner. It's very, very important. Express your point without abusing your partner. Okay, right now I can see on the computer that we have 46 people online watching and hearing me. That's wonderful. This is the first time we're doing it. So express your point without abusing your partner. Don't say, your head that is not correct. Can you see what you have done? No, 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 no. Say what you want to say. If you are angry, that's not the best time to settle your matter. Because you say anger has an emotion that it makes you, it color your part of your brain to say right thing, and you can do anything. In anger, people kill people. In anger, things happen. Express your point without abusing your partner. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. Avoid using offensive words, physical combat. The effect may last longer than you think you know. It's very, very important. Be careful when you are handling. Especially when you know your temperament, you are choleric, get angry. They can fight at that time. Run away from the environment if you have your way. It's very, very important. Let's continue. Learn to say sorry where it's possible. You will be ready to apologize sincerely, especially when it's obvious that you are wrong. I was told in Africa that men don't say sorry, but I'm sorry to tell you that men should say sorry too. And your sorry must be followed to why you are saying sorry. I am sorry the way I talked to you that time. I am sorry the way I say this. I am sorry there must be a reason for your sorry. No, sorry, say people say I have said sorry now. Say me have said sorry. That should be enough for you. No. Your apologizing must be very sincere. It's very, very important. Another one, learn to forgive and forget. Learn to forgive and forget. I'm going to spend some time on this. Women they dwell more on the past, while men dwell more on the future. A woman always dwell much on the past, while the men always dwell on the future. So if you offend a woman, to remind you what happened 20 years ago, 15 years ago, where you are sitting down, the dress you wore, everything is on their memory because of the way the brain of a woman is formed. The memory part of the brain of a woman is more alive and is actually an emotion. So that's why they don't really forget easily like that. Listen to me, if you're going to stay in marriage, you must learn to forgive. You must learn to forget. Marriage are for two forgivers, and you may be ready to never open a fresh wound. Forgetting may be difficult, but it's achievable. Never a part of past issue. That's the way you always do when we got married 10 years ago. That's what we always do when we started 5 years ago. Learn to forgive and forget. If you want to stay in marriage, you have to do it. Very, very important. You have to do it. I think this presentation has to come to an end. We will learn a lot today. Now we're going to open door for question and answer. We're going to open door for question and answer. For people that they didn't come on time, I'm thinking if I can play that video once again, they will now do that question and answer. I don't mind if it's possible. If it's not possible, let's just go to question and answer so that you can manage the time well. So get ready for question and answer now. I think they might need to release mic of people who want to ask question and answer, or maybe whenever they want to talk. Maybe you should do a show of hands. If you want to
This one look.
how am you calling your name so that I will know? She needs to move the mic. So many noise.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Good.
Hello? Okay. Can you hear me? Can you do a show of hands so that they can mute your mic? You're going to mute your mic because I can hear your voice at the background.
Okay, hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Please, if you have a question, kindly raise your hand and you'll be unmuted to ask your questions. While you do that, please be forward and make it brief and straightforward, your question. So if you want to ask a question, kindly raise your hand and you'll be unmuted to ask the question. Thank you.
Question? Okay. Is it really possible for a man and a woman to be truly happy since we are all so different? I can see this question from Let's Face It, Joe. Okay. I think it's possible to be happy. I think it's possible to be truly happy in marriage. But I can assure you that there is no man and no woman on earth that can give you all the joy you need in marriage. No man that can give you all the joy you need in marriage. So, but you can be happy. Number one, you need to make yourself happy. That's the first thing. Your true happiness does not come from living with a person. I tell single today that don't ever think that when I get married, I'll be happy. Your Maxwell call it destination disease. When I have my first baby, I'll be happy. When I have my first grandchild, I'll be happy. When I buy my car, I'll be happy. No, if you are getting marriage does not make anybody happy. But marriage will help to build who you are. But you need to learn to be happy for yourself. Your partner will not always make you happy at all times, 24/7. He doesn't have the capacity to do so. And I can assure you, people that have been married 2 or 3 times have the same problem. In fact, more bigger problem. Because now at this time, they may not have grace to endure. So, but you need to make yourself happy. But there are certain things your partner will be doing in your life that will make you know that you need this person to still be in my life. So I always consider people. I know a lady many years ago, she wasn't able to have a child. So she considered leaving her husband. She separated from her husband for 11 months. And within that 11 months, because I am like a counselor to both of them, she came back to me more than 7 times. I should please make peace for them to come back. After staying alone for some time, that is not easy, sir. It's not easy. So I tried and I make peace with them. Both of them get back to each other. So it's not something easy to get happiness at all time. So, question. Okay. You can type your question on the private chat. On the chat, there's a chat. You can type your question there. Okay. I can see Arinze. Okay. No problem. How do you handle a spouse that is always cheating? That's a very, very great question. When a spouse is cheating, it's a very dangerous thing. I think you need to confront that spouse. You need to confront him and look for a proof. If you have a proof, there is a point, there is a reason for serious discussion, getting somebody as like a third party to intervene in this matter. Talk to the person. And if he refuses to change, there's a danger when he is cheating. Sometimes people can lose their life as a result of this. The person is cheating from can actually make trouble or cause problem. We have had situation where a man pick a a disease and give it to the wife, and both of them died. You have seen that before happening. So cheating is not something to treat you have to treat it with caution. You need, the first thing I said, you need a proof. You need to get a proof, and you also need to look for a way. You also need to find out, why is he cheating? Why is he cheating? Is it that there's no peace at home? Is it that the sexual relationship between both of you is not working? Because some of those things something lead people to do certain things. Some are serial cheaters. Before they get married, they have 10 girlfriends. So it's already in their blood. But if it's not something they've been doing before, it just started, I think we can look for a solution for it. Very, very important. Some of you that will want to share privately with me, we're going to give you an opportunity. So most of your email come directly to my mail. So we can actually talk about this later. But I can tell you that when there's cheating, the way out is to get a proof and use it to talk to the person. And if the person refuses to listen, get a third party. It's very, very important. You need a third party. Must have somebody you respect. Very important. I can see a question from Ogechi Uche. How do you handle your in-laws, especially when they are always manipulating your spouse emotionally, just to get what they want? What? Because they know he has a soft spot for the family. Well, if you marry to a family where your husband or your wife is a major breadwinner, that's the language we call it. I don't know whether he has a bakery, and we call it breadwinner. You really need a lot of peace. And you need also to talk to your husband to place priority with the immediate family. Place priority with the immediate family. By the grace of God in my own family, I happen to be the first person that started doing well. And to that extent, I have a lot of responsibility over all my siblings, but I still place priority on my immediate family. So what you can actually stop him from supporting his family, helping them, but priority must be placed on the immediate family. So you can't handle your in-law when it's about asking for things. It's very important. How do you manage a wife that is very secretive? The first thing I always want us to find out is that if your wife is started being secretive later, or he has always been secretive before, these are very, very important. These are very, very important. If he has always been secretive before, or he just started being secretive, it's very, very important to find out. There will be a reason. Maybe there's a trust issue here. Maybe there's a trust issue here. So we need to find out. But what I would say is that just if you know that he's doing things secretly and you are feeling like, why is he doing things secretly? You can decide to let her know. And decide to let her know that he's too secretive. And if you have some secrets that you have seen, make sure you confront. I am undergoing grave marriage challenges. I can't even pinpoint what actually the problem. I wish to beg to talk to you to talk to her. You can counsel us. No problem. I'll be willing to do that if you are already part of this seminar today. How do you handle a situation where your spouse is vindictive? Well, some human beings are like that, but you need to also avoid anything that will cause him or her to feel like you're always offending that person. You can't be a repeated offender. So it's very, very important. Very, very important. is very important. I have a lot of questions that I'm tackling here. Is it really possible for a man and a woman? No, I've dealt with that. Yes, no problem. I think I've handled all the questions on the charts. How do you build trust back in the marriage after your spouse cheats? That's a serious work. I told you trust is like a glass, like an egg. When it's broken, it's very, very difficult. So it's important. It's important that we manage it. It's important that we manage it. So you try and just trust. To build that trust back, it's the person that cheated that have to build the trust back. For example, I know a man that the wife caught him red-handed, a lady. So the man now became a serious Christian. So everything the man wants to do, in fact, he always, in fact, I will time they will exchange phone in a week. He'll take my phone, I take your phone. That's how bad the man was looking to trust. The wife can get the trust back. The account is being managed by the man. I mean, a man cannot cheat without money now. Every woman outside needs money. So now, for every transaction, the woman will receive an alert. So the man has to be proven to the lady that I'm trustworthy now. First, phone, there's no password on phone. Second, the money issue is being managed by the woman. Can I tell you something? To cheat, you need two instruments. You need a phone. No woman outside you want to cheat with that will ever you spend money. And if the woman is also cheating on her husband, there are reasons why women cheat. Some is not because they need money, some because they don't enjoy love. So it's very, very important. What can a woman do if she does not have urge for sex most of the time? The husband requests, I like this question now. What can a woman do if the man try all you have said? Well, I think both of you need another training on sex, and we're going to do that probably in the next 2 weeks. We'll announce it. Although this training is a specialized one, and I'm going to be sharing on it. But what I can say is that women naturally are not sex. Most women are not generally love to. They want sex, but they don't know how to ask. They don't have the instrument in their body does not look for sex, except some women, some kind of women, or a particular time of the month. If you are still at the reproductive age, where a woman still go through cycle, there's a time we call ovulation period. The testosterone that makes women desire sex will come up a little. But for a man, it always come up every night. If you sleep well and rest well, your testosterone will increase and you wake up with wood, we call it, money wood. So when you have a woman that does not want sex, there are too many things. Number one, it could be that when sex was first introduced to her, it was introduced to her painfully. It was introduced to her painfully. It could be the sex was introduced to her painfully. So it could also be that maybe he's not enjoying that sex with you. He's not enjoying the sex with you. I know if you are married to an African woman, they don't talk about sex. They are not vocal about their sex life because it's a cultural thing. Culture has damaged them not to do so. Maybe a Caucasian woman will say, I'm not enjoying sex with you. I wish I can enjoy sex with you. But if an African woman will tell her husband, I'm not enjoying sex with you, that man can look at her and say, hey, now, okay, You didn't tell me you are like this. I read something online which I wanted to share in this meeting. It's a document I want to share for us to read it. A woman been married for 3, 4 years. She has 2 children. She and her husband traveled to the hometown of the husband. And in the middle of the night, 4 armed robbers came to the house, and one of the leader of the armed robber raped the woman. While he was raping the woman, the husband was there looking, and the woman said for the first time in her life, she enjoyed sex with the armed robber. When the armed robber was making love with her, she was saying, wow, I'm enjoying this, give me more. Okay, I'm enjoying this, give me more. So after the whole thing, when the armed robber left, the husband started beating this woman, and she divorced her. So the question is, she wasn't enjoying the sex, because she wasn't enjoying the sex, and she wasn't enjoying the sex, and she is asking the people to tell, what can I do in this situation? So there are many reasons why some men, women are not enjoying sex. Some men, they just want to enter sex in 2-3 minutes and get out. So many factors. That's why when we come to sex class, we're going to talk more about it. I can see so many people online. Lainka Yusuf, you're welcome. Let's look at more questions. Let's look at more questions. Talk about this. Yeah. Okay. Let me show the video. The video we will watch. Same video. Okay. Okay. I think we still have more questions. Let's show the video. Let's show the video. Video will come up now. Then we have 2 minutes more. Supposed to close.
But I always hoped that he would change.
During your marriage, did he rape you?
Yes, he did. He would continue to do that through our marriage if I didn't want to go to bed with him.
Did you consider leaving him?
I did try to leave him, and he said, I'm not divorcing you, so you can just as well forget it. And
So you stayed?
I stayed.
I wonder what you recall about what happened on the day of his death.
He said he wanted his breakfast. I'd felt that he wanted to get me out of the house for some reason. So I rushed down to the local supermarket. Then when I came into the house, I noticed that the landline phone was on the sofa beside him, and it hadn't been there before.
Do you know why there was a hammer in your handbag?
I don't.
I'm sure the video is not showing some of us. Maybe we'll have sent the video to us later. Okay, somebody is even asking this question. A scenario of a lady who enjoyed sex for the first time while being raped by an armed robber right before her husband. So, what the advice for such a lady, sir? Well, she does not have the control of what happened. But for me, I think the man is a bit wicked. So, it's a bit wicked. Man is a bit wicked. I don't think the lady will actually, at that point of having sex together, is more with an armed robber, is more of involuntary action. Somebody under duress. A woman does not sleep with a stranger most of the time. Not even talk about an armed robber. For a man to not accuse her of, of this, I don't know why this will happen. What I can say is that I don't see a reason for this. So I think I still have more questions online. How do you handle a spouse that refuses to learn how your love language and temperament? Yeah. Well, I think you should, if the spouse can be brought to this kind of training, it will be very important, very good. Love language is very, very important. And if you don't learn it, you will never enjoy marriage. And one of the things I find out that it's not just for marriage. Love languages affect businesses, affect everything we do, affect the way we relate with people. So it's very, very important. Very, very important. So you have to learn your love language and your temperament. He has to. Marriage will be difficult. That person is not trying to make effort to make the marriage work. What are they married to be setting, running a business and ministry together? I think there must be a clear-cut division between marriage and ministry. There will be some ministry are run like a family ministry, and that won't make the ministry to grow. My wife's involvement in ministry is there, but it's not. There are rules, there are laws that everybody have to obey. Even me as a general overseer cannot run the ministry as I like. I have committees that sit down and determine things, and everything we are doing must be ratified. So there must be a boundary, very, very clear boundary. We're going to be running business and ministry together at the same time. Everything has their own rule. Very, very well. How do we handle differences in our sexual libido? Well, it depends on who has the highest libido. The one thing we must know that if we want our marriage to work, we must be willing to invest in that marriage. If you see some 60-year-old, 50-year-old, see some 55-year-old, you 70-year-old, you can tell that these people are investing a lot of time in their life, in their health. Some will wake up in the morning and do exercise, they will change, they will run, they will walk. They are investing on their health. Anything you don't put investment on, you can't get dividend. So investment is very important. Today, I'm a family life coach. Because I invested in my marriage, 5 years after the marriage, I read so many books on marriage. I read books on women. I'm a man. I read books on women. So I read so many books. So it's very, very important that we invest time on our marriage. So it's very important. What I'm going to say is that a lot of men are not interested in marriage thing. They are interested in money, how to make money. That is what's important to them. So But we'll continue to do our best. We're going to do our. I still see a lot of men online today. How to make a marriage that has been through divorce work and successful. Well, it's possible, but they need an expert to support them. People are not willing to submit to counselors. People are not willing to submit to counselors, and that is why it's very dangerous. You must be willing to submit to counselors. It's very important. Though a man is the head of the home, do we think he should make all the family decisions? This is another question. No. That the man is the head of the home does not mean you must make all the decisions because you are the head, but you have a team. You are working with a team. Now, this webinar we are doing right now, we have some team co-hosts working with me on the ground. If I have not had a time to brief them about everything we want to do, we will not be able to get these results. So it's important that we let our marriage like we are working as a team, family team, headed by the woman, headed by the man. The house is the first school, and the principal of the school is a woman, while the VP is a woman. In some secondary school, and the VP is in charge of administration actually. VP manages more things. But there must be a way they work together. African man want to take decision. I was there before. I was in that line before. When I got married from the background of a church, by a pastor, member want to come to my house. I won't tell my wife that anybody's coming. And when they came, I was asked, I'll give them food. So when there's no food to be given, I made her look like a bad woman who does not want to take up people. And I will make her have a reputation of, she doesn't want to be hospitable. She doesn't want people in the house. But I'm the one that did not tell her people are coming. That's an African man for you. When she even said that I should be asking, I said, tell me when everybody comes. I said, hey, you want me to be taking permission from you? African man like that. So if you are in this training today as a man, I think you can actually make more men to join this training next time and see how they can learn. It's very important. Oh, I'm watching with my husband. That's wonderful. I see many people watching with their husband. That's wonderful. How do I manage an insecure man? How do I manage an insecure man? That's a lot of work. But what makes a man insecure is when he's not having money to pay the bills and when he's not able to satisfy the wife and the children. That will make them insecure. So it's very important to allow them to lead. Allow him to lead in everything. And you do this and you sit at the background. It depends on the temperament, but you can allow them, just allow the person to lead. A lot of questions we ask are difficult to answer generically because you need to know the scenario and everybody is different from each other. Everybody is different from each other. So it's important. If you don't know the scenario well, you might not be able to actually. How do you handle a spouse that refuses to learn your? We already treated this. There are more questions. Okay. I'm trying to scroll the question. Okay. All of you that joined late for that video, I will make sure they send the video to you. So it's very important. Already, I think we have exhausted all the questions. So I think we've been able to learn few things today. And we're going to send you some material that will support you through the email. I want to really have another class, and that class we might need to pay for it. It's going to be a payment class where you pay something very little. This one is a free class. Then we're going to be talking more on sex. If you are really going through issue with your marriage with sex, I think you should encourage your husband. I think many men will be interested to come to a class of sex, but men don't deal with sex. And we're going to talk about some other aspect of relationship. There's no way I can talk about sex without talking about love language, because they are all linked together. There's no way I will talk about sex, I will not talk about temperament, because they are all linked together. But it's going to be a couples class that will talk more about some of those things. I believe that most of us have learned so many things today. I can see Adeshola Oloyede, wonderful. I can see Shana Johnson, Blessing Adigbite, Johnson Okola. That's America. I just see Fumi Oni. Oh my God. Oluwaseun Adewumi. That's America. I see Arinola. Well, I don't know this Arinola. Maybe I know her. I can see Let's Play with Joe. I can see Tony, Dorcas. Is it possible for me to see their faces? Okay. I can see so many people. Adiola is online. Mojola Taiwo, Nicola Femi is also online. I can see Statoni Akredolu. Happy birthday in arrears. God bless you. I saw it online. Your birthday. Okay. Blessing. Abraham is online. Adiola is here. Wonderful. I can see this is South African woman. I can see Kemi online. Tony Olight is online. Wonderful. This is from Maryland. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wonderful. This is a good one. Oh. I think we need to do more of this. We need to do more of this. Sam is online. Lucy Katoda from Abuja. Oh, good. That's very good. Very good. I can see Fumilayo Afolabi. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm sure we have been blessed. We've learned some few things today. Okay, Arinola, I know this face very well. Oh, that's in New Jersey. Yeah. Oluwaseun Adewumi. Hey, oh my God. Sheun, that from Ohio, Columbus. That's wonderful. Uche Ogeji, that's Lekki Church. Wonderful. Wonderful. So many people online. This is a wonderful one. Wonderful one. I see many of you. I can see your face. So if you don't want their face to be seen, it's okay. It's allowed. So thank you for being in this seminar today. I'm sure we've learned a lot and we have been blessed. We hope to come back again. This is the first time we are doing it. A little technical issues here and there, but I know next time we're going to perfect it. We're going to do better. So the Lord be with us in Jesus' name. I pray for every one of you because I can see that most of us are Christian. We have people that are not members of Holy Ghost. The hand of God will be upon you. You will enjoy grace. In Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Hi, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. We really
What's up?
appreciate
Hi,
it.
sir.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, I can see Joy here. Okay, thank
God
you.
bless you, sir.
Thank you. Ola Oloyede, I can see you.
Yeah, great, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good one.
Sir.
Where is your husband? He's supposed to be here.
Who?
Tell him, Joy. Hey, your husband that next time you hear. Is there?
You tell him.
Okay, okay.
You tell him.
Okay. Wonderful. Oh my God. Okay, I can see him now. Good one. Good one. Good morning. Good one. Good one.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
I can see your face. Thank you. Thank you for your support. The computer operation and TV. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, thank you. We have a good time today. Oh my God. Thank you. Bye, bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Mama, how do you go back to drink? I tell my mommy. What? If the bow, she left. He sent it to you privately. Listen, I need to do video. Nobody's here. How to